Welcome to Bizart, a podcast of the odd, the art and the rest. Any questions or comments, email bizartcast@gmail.com. That's bizartcast@gmail.com. Right, I'm Madeleine Swann. I write weird and strange stories. And this is Stephen Waring.
Hello.
And you can find his weird brain at Cosmic Arts Limited. Saturday, I went to Viktor Wynd's Museum of Curiosities. That day we were going to see a live show of the podcast Welcome to Night Vale, which was really good at Shepherd's Bush it was. I won't say too much about it because it's quite a popular podcast anyway, and also, you know, they don't want people to reveal too much about the live show because it will be released as an audio. But Viktor Wynd's museum... it was definitely unusual. I really enjoyed it. It's you go down these windy stairs. You go in and it's all dark and there are candles and there's kind of artwork, surrealist artwork upstairs.
Ooh,
and,
like that.
Yes, and you pay, I think it's £3 to go down to down these windy stairs and have a look. And it's just all these cabinets of, well, curiosities, I suppose you'd call it. But as you go downstairs, hanging on the wall is a Fiji mermaid, which were sideshow gaffs, which were kind of, I think they're basically monkeys stitched together with fish to look like, apparently, mermaids, which is, well... I don't think you'd want to get off with one of those.
I probably would have...
well, you'd have got off with one, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I know you would have.
I would have confused one of those for a mermaid.
Yeah.
Most deaf.
But, yeah, one of the first things in the cabinets that you see is an isopod, which was one of those creatures that infiltrates a fish's mouth through its gills, drains its tongue of blood until it drops off, and then lives there in its place, eating food that enters through the fish's mouth.
Of course.
Yes.
That's evolution for you.
Well, you know, I don't know anyone who doesn't do that on a Tuesday. And surrounding that is kind of drawings and books of historical porn.
Hey!
And there's creepy dolls, taxidermy, which includes a full-size lion, which you kind of go around the corner and see that, and it's a bit of a shock.
This sounds a lot bigger and more involved, more for the general public than I thought. I thought it would be like the shop in the series Oddities, which...
Oddity. Oh, well, he did apparently, because he was there with his dog, and... He did apparently used to buy and sell stuff, but he's since decided that he doesn't really want to get rid of anything. And he's just going to charge for people to come in and look at it. So this is a way for him to sort of keep adding to his collection. But there's also odd art, such as a bucket of popcorn. Each kernel is shaped like a tiny skull.
Ooh.
And there's portraits of sideshow performers. And weirdest of all, I thought, was a jar of Russell Brand's nether region hair.
Ah!
Apparently someone posted it to him saying, "I thought you would like this, Victor." And that's now on display. I don't know how Russell Brand feels about this.
That was either Russell himself or it was just someone pretending to be Russell Brand and it isn't Russell Brand.
Well, no, it's not. The letter doesn't say that it is Russell Brand. The letter is a lady who says that she shaved it off of him.
Ah.
And... you know, she thought that Victor would like it.
I hope you had a wash first.
Well, who knows? Maybe you should ask him. So, so that's Viktor Wynd's Museum of Curiosities. It's very good. And I've got the address written down.
Maddie's consulting her notes.
Yeah.
Her field notes from the trip.
Field notes.
She doesn't get out too often, so...
I don't, so it's very exciting whenever it does happen. So that's Viktor Wynd's Museum of Curiosities. The nearest tube is Bethnal Green. It's 11 Mare Street, London, E84RP.
And you'll have a mare, too.
You will have a mare, but you'll have a mare in a good way, I think. Billingsgate Fish Market, who was on the show last week, said to him that he thought everything in there was beautiful, and he was taking photographs of everything. The photos, incidentally, will be on my blog. And he said to Victor that he thought everything in there was beautiful. And Victor said, "Well, not everything, I hope." And Bill said, "It is in its own way."
Ah.
Which I thought was very nice.
Well, that's Bill. He's Billingsgate Fish Market for you. He'll see
He'll see the good in everything.
Yes, he'll put a sunny smile on every
Aww.
occasion.
You're in love with him, aren't you?
I am. He's. I know he's your man, but.
Well, I'm starting to wonder about you too. I've noticed the longing looks. Don't think I haven't, young man.
Well, I tried to curb my feelings.
And the times when he goes to hold your hand and then says, "Oh, I thought it was Maddie. I'm terribly sorry."
That actually happened once too.
It did, yeah.
Okay, moving on. We just experienced a film called Mystics in Bali.
Yes.
Which is a 1981
film. 1981, yeah. It's
Uh,
an Indonesian film. I enjoyed seeing the folklore of another culture. That part is good.
I like the soundtrack actually.
Yeah, the soundtrack. But I don't know, it's one of those films that is so weird that, or perhaps just because it is from another culture, but it's so weird that it almost exists outside the realm of normal good and bad. But basically, it's this lady who apparently wasn't an actress at all, but she's a white lady who they saw on holiday and probably thought, oh, she's quite attractive. We'll get her to be in it. That'll clearly take us to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And,
that's the American market sorted there.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. And they got her involved in the film. They got her to extend her holiday to be the main character. But the guy playing her boyfriend are kind of wooden planks, really. And then they meet up with this mystic lady who I think sounds a bit like the Cadbury's parrot.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a Noel Fielding character from The Mighty Boosh.
Yeah, the special effects are sort of quite. I mean, like, I don't mean to sort of down anyone's effort or anything, but it is quite Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
And another thing is that the boyfriend seems quite happy to get his girlfriend in touch with a witch that's apparently considered to be really dangerous. He's just, I mean, he doesn't really show that much emotion throughout the entire film, but she's saying, oh, I want to become an apprentice of this evil creature. And he's like, oh yeah, I know where you can find one. Here, come along. And it's only about halfway through that he thinks, oh,
maybe this is a bad idea.
this is a bad idea. And, yes.
It's obviously not supposed to be funny, but
But it is quite funny.
yeah. Yeah, I like the pig costume too. That was not wanting to give anything away, but I mean, would it really matter?
I don't think it's really going to ruin your life if you find out what happens in the film. But she kind of cackles at everything, and it's, you say anything
witch,
to her.
yeah.
The witch. Yeah, you kind of say anything to her, and she cackles like a loony. It's like, would you like a sandwich? Ah, ha, ha, ha.
Sounds like my mum.
Yeah. Oh, mum doesn't sound like that. That's a bit mean. She's going to listen to this. You'll probably make her cry. Poor
No,
lady.
like the offering sandwiches
Oh,
thing,
right, yeah.
and the odd cackle. Yeah,
Yes.
a bit like my mum anyway.
Or your house is on fire.
Yeah.
So, would you watch it again, Weaven?
Well, the thing is, you watch something like that, which is obviously low budget. The filmmakers are probably not particularly experienced. No script. It just seemed like they made up the story as they went along. But it stays with you. It's got enough about it, enough eeriness and kitsch, kind of.
Oh, definitely kitsch, yeah. I like the fact that apparently it's a real part of Indonesian folklore where a witch can remove her head and it kind of it flies along in the air. But underneath, it's trailing, like, intestines and lungs and things like that.
The spinal column.
Yeah, the spinal column. And it goes for the blood of pregnant women.
Oh, yeah, that bit was really good, actually. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like the effects might not have been very good, but the idea of a head with all this goo underneath.
They should, yeah, maybe there's like a...
It must be quite heavy if you're just a head and you're training all that along. You'd think that, I don't know, maybe they need one of those mobility scooters or something. That might make it easier. Or at least a shopping trolley so that it takes the weight off a bit.
Yeah, sure. I'm thinking kind of a reanimator here. And it's kind of like that, but with the entrails, isn't it? So you'd have the cardboard box, but you'd have something else. Maybe someone carry it about.
I haven't seen that. I've read the story, but I think the story's a bit different.
Yeah,
but,
I imagine it is.
But yeah, I mean, like you've got to have a strain on your neck. if you wake up the next morning, I imagine you probably have quite a bad neck ache if you're carrying, you know, all of your innards around.
But how does it get the power to do it anyway? I mean, it's obviously the spirit of the witch controlling it, and she can do anything. So
I suppose so.
I suppose that's.
But even so, if you're considering becoming a witch in Indonesia, I recommend getting one of those soft neck things that you wrap around. That you put in the microwave.
Planes.
Yeah, that you put in the microwave and it heats up nicely.
Oh,
I think you'll probably need one of those.
Which brings me on. I watched a couple of films last night. Well, I attempted to watch The Fifth Estate, which is about WikiLeaks. But I saw the first 25 minutes and the direction was so poor that
In what way?
I didn't stick with it. It was kind of flashy MTV, trying to make computer kind of things and espionage or whatever you call it look, you know, trying to make all those computer, you know, it was a guy sitting at a computer.
It's like well, I can't remember what film it was, but it was about hackers or something. It wasn't hackers.
This was like hackers on acid.
But it wasn't hackers, but it had this guy who had apparently spent, I don't know how long, like 10 years or something, just at the computer hacking into things. But he was like, to get away from the police, he was leaping over fences and that. And it was based on a true story. And I can imagine that the real bloke was probably way too pale and, weak to go vaulting over anything, you know, let alone fences.
The World of Warcraft man in South Park. Yeah, some just big guy sitting at a computer with a massive beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so which was a shame because I mean that could have been a really good. The Fifth Estate could have been a really good film if they'd have done it right. The script seemed quite simplistic and needed a good editor. If it was done much in the vein of All the President's Men or one of those 70s thrillers.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, Dog Day Afternoon, that kind of vibe. I think it could have been a really good film. So it's such a shame that they tried to make it for the kind of snappy, shiny
that's
MTV.
what I didn't like about the recent bio thing of Houdini. It was just like, it was ridiculous. It was so over the top. I mean, Houdini's life was weird enough without, you know, making it even weirder.
Yeah, I think that people don't have an attention span to watch these things.
Well, they think they don't have an attention span, but I think people do. You know,
especially if you get them with the plot and that, you know, I think it all boils down to just the director wasn't good enough and the script wasn't good enough with this. If you haven't got that, even though Benedict Cumberbatch, is that right?
I think
Bindy Dindy Donch.
Humpty Bump slapped you back.
Yeah.
I think it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, even though Benedict Cumberbatch
yes.
Was very good as Julian Assange, you know, I think he's a very good actor.
He's very good, yeah.
But I mean, he shouldn't have taken that part. Really, it was.
Well, maybe he likes it. Maybe he thinks it's good.
Hmm.
Maybe he's quite proud of it. Maybe he'll listen to this and cry a bit.
Good. He deserves it. Overprivileged tit.
Why is he an overprivileged tit?
Being
Guy,
silly.
you're such a rimmer.
Yeah, if only I'd
didn't have the right knobby parents.
Had the right pants in primary school.
Maybe I would have got an A if I had been bought the correct shoes.
So that was a shame. So I instead still fancied a bit more Benedict. More of Benedict. So I
bet you did.
I watched the latest Star Trek film, which is called.
I quite like
Star
the other
Trek
one. I haven't seen that one yet, though.
Yeah, I thought the first of the new Star Trek with the new all the new actors playing the old characters from the series and.
Yeah, it was a cinema film. It's one of those cinema films that you enjoy at the time, but you may not necessarily think too much about it afterwards. Yeah,
it was kind of disposable, I guess. I thought Benedict was very good in it. He makes a really good baddie.
Yes.
I think that J.J. Abrams, who directed it, was going to incidentally direct the new Star Wars films for Disney. I think he's a very good action director. I mean, I think, I don't know why they couldn't have done vintage anyway. Why couldn't they have just kept the ship the same as it was? The interior of the ship now is really glossy and modern. It's kind of like an updated, obviously an updated version of the old thing. But I kind of miss the old knobs. I didn't miss the old... Yeah, I'm nostalgic for the original series, really, and I think this kind of loses something. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. You know, it was a good action movie, and I know it had a lot of the elements of the characters there, although they did change quite a few things. I noticed that Christopher Pike, who was in the pilot episode of the original series of Star Trek, he becomes like a father figure to Kirk in the new series, in the new film series. So they've made him much older. They changed Khan, the character played by Benedict Cumberbatch.
Slut Bunwala.
That man. I think that they should have just... I know for merchandising reasons and that they went with the old characters, but I think they should have just developed a whole new Star Trek thing with new characters, set it in a different time.
I don't know if people would like that, though. Because part of the thing of it is that people love the characters. I don't think they'd want to see all new people.
Yeah.
It's a nostalgia thing, isn't it? It's comfortable, isn't it? You go, you know who everyone is.
It's like a retelling of a legend. Sort of
yeah,
thing,
but it is. That's kind of why people want to see it, I think.
It's like they changed... Yeah, I mean, Khan. I think in the original series, if I remember right, it's a long while since I saw it. I think he was like ruler of. He was ruler of Pakistan or ruler of Asia, or I don't know, something like that. But they changed like sort of aspects of the background of certain characters, which was very strange. And I don't think they really need.
Is he ruler of Safeways now instead?
It's ruler of B-Jams, and things like Bones. Is Dr. McCoy is a beefcake in this, and he struggles with the accent a little bit. You know, he's like an imitation of Bones. Yeah, the relationship between Spock and Uhura is new, of course. And
well, they have to put a bit of that in anyway, don't they? Audiences these days demand graphic sex scenes.
The Trekkie in me kind of wants to see a new thing, you know, rather than going retro, but with a new twist, you know. So, difficult one. I mean, I enjoyed it.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's all the old characters because it is a comfort thing. And if you go and watch a cinema film, there are some films where you may not think about them afterwards, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You just enjoy it for while it's up there on the screen. And
there is a kind of a modern take, and the way that the characters have express emotion in the relationship between Spock and
Kirk.
What's the face? Yes, yes. Yeah, that was another thing. Like Spock was like crying because he thought Kirk had died. Spoiler alert!
Like,
and it's like Spock doesn't cry. What are you doing?
Yeah, but their love for he's partly human, isn't he?
Yeah.
And also their love for each other. Their love for each other transcends. Like, did you ever see that clip that was going around on the internet where it was scenes of those two with Closer by 9 Inch Nails? That kind of says it all, really.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Enjoyable, but not the same. Not the same for me.
Too many cooks, too many cooks, too many cooks. I'm sorry, I can't get that song out of my head.
Oh, right, yeah, the thing you sent me earlier on the internet. That was very clever.
It's stuck in there, yeah. It's a sketch. It appeared on Adult Swim late at night. I like it because you kind of think you've got it figured out about halfway through. It's sort of opening. Oh, everyone's seen it by now anyway, so I probably don't need to describe it. But it's parodying the opening scenes of 80s sitcoms where you have people smiling and the name underneath. But then it starts going through each cliched TV genre from the 80s. And I thought, yeah, that's quite funny. But then it just descends further and further into weirdness. And there's even a character that reminds me of Bob from Twin Peaks.
There's a lot of 80s references. Isn't there?
And it just sort of keeps sort of descending into this bizarre, hellish world, which still manages to be quite funny.
I'm just thinking. I keep smelling burning. Have I been hypnotised or something? Do you think? Do you think there's that?
Maybe maybe the video was a mass hypnosis.
It may well have been.
And we're all gonna, whenever we hear that bit of music, we're all gonna go out and do something like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like Season of the Witch, the second much underrated Halloween film.
Oh,
Was it the second one or the third one?
I don't know.
Halloween 3, I think.
Halloween 3.
Season of the Witch.
I haven't seen that.
Very good.
Oh, okay. I'll give that
well
one a go
worth
then.
a watch. Really creepy. Yeah.
I shall. Yeah, but perhaps it's going to make us all go out and either murder somebody or just do a synchronised dance.
Yeah, and then we'll
Like
do a
Thriller.
freeze frame to our name title. Yeah, that was very, very funny and original. That I thought.
Yes.
Okay, on that note, we'd like to say good night. Good night.
I'll see your face tonight.
It is
Very cold and I need the loo.
You have been listening to Bizart, a podcast of the odd, the odd, and the rest. Any questions or comments, email bizartcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.